All right, my dudes, we're about to hit the road. Just fucking checking the cameras, my dudes. Fucking checking the cameras. It's just an experiment what I'm doing right now. Just an experiment. And it might not even be a very legal experiment, because fucking half of my vision right now is obscured. On the other hand, I do have a nice view of my face, very close here. Now, you might be asking me, Ivan, well, where the fuck are we? Well, dude, we are in rural Ohio, motherfucker. We're in Middletown. Yeah, we're leaving the Middletown right now, and we're going to Greenville, Ohio, dude. The thing about it is that we're not gonna make it, because it's fucking an hour drive from here, and my battery is gonna die beforehand. But it is a distant goal for us. It is a distant goal for us, Greenville, Ohio. It will be a forbidden fruit. A forbidden fucking fruit, Greenville, Ohio. We need aspiration. It is that kind of a communist society that was never achieved in my motherland. Well, sometimes maybe it is possible that one day I will take you to Greenville, Ohio. But for now, you will have to observe these kind of quaint surroundings. Now, as you might surmise by now, this is gonna be a fucking rambling video, because I'm not, you know, for the sake of safety, I actually don't intend to like edit a lot of this shit in my head as I drive. Yeah, so I will just ramble. It is a test. New equipment was fucking purchased here in the form of that other camera that. And the fucking light is decreasing, like I expected fucking more light from the sun. Motherfucker, what can I tell you about Middletown? Middletown, Ohio, that we just recently left. What I can tell you is that it is... For my friends who might, for my friends who currently reside outside of the borders, for my friends who currently live outside of the borders of the United States, I have to say that we right now we're in the Heartland, man. This is the Heartland. Observe. This is hardly anybody fucking lives in the Heartland. But the good thing about it is that the people who live here are mostly white. And it's just, it's the Heartland, man. It appears every 4 years, every 2 years in political advertisement. It's the fucking Heartland. Hardly fucking anybody lives here, but we all fucking love the Heartland. And you see, the thing that like, wherever there is like purity, there is a nemesis, the archetypal anti-Heartland. And the anti-Heartland are the coasts, dude. Like, here in the Heartland, dude, the coasts just shit on us. They don't think we're human. They don't think we can read, dude. And they just sort of fly over us in their planes, going from fucking New York to LA, where they just take it up their ass because they're faggots. Not that I'm homophobic or anything, it's just the Heartland, man. We have values here. And these, you know, and these fucking fruits, these fucking fudge packers, these goddamn fucking homos. I mean, again, no hate in here, dude. Just fucking, just a sentiment, dude. And it's just I don't believe in political correctness. And these motherfuckers fly over us here and just shit on us, dude. And mostly, like, they're very snobbish, man. They say, oh, we got better heroin. Motherfucker, maybe you do, maybe you don't. Maybe you do, maybe you don't, motherfucker. it's just a little cultural thing. But this is why Trump won, because of this kind of stuff. You know, it's just one of those things. But it is like, I guess it's a traditional divide in many countries between the, kind of reminds me of Moscow and the rest of Russia. Because a lot of people in Moscow don't like Putin, and this is actually an asset to the regime. And it's kind of like that here. You're not gonna shit on us, fucking San Francisco, motherfucker. Who did, you know, fucking? I'm gonna vote for that motherfucker who, you know, supported ExxonMobil. But anyway, oh, good thing I looked at the GPS. It's time for me to turn. But fucking where? 122. Anyway, I don't know what the fuck I'm saying, man. Trying to be clever. Just testing out the equipment. Showing you a slice of life. I am going pretty slow. It's actually 60 here. I'm going like 40. Anyway, well, you know, actually I messed up with the GPS. I wanted to take a different route there, which would have been basically a straight line. But instead, because I'm a fucking moron with it when it comes to directions. Even though I do drive for like 40 hours a week, I have no internal map, and so I just relied on the GPS, and now I'm fucking actually having to navigate here. Whereas originally I just wanted to get on this one rural freeway and just fucking go straight. So that's why I'm just kind of even less coherent than I expected it to be, but I just fucking have to roll with it. And it's like, man, I've already sort of wasted so much gas just getting here. Fuck it. It's like, I don't know, man. What can I tell you? The reason I actually summoned you here today is to talk about the last time I went to Greenville. Well, actually, it wasn't even the last fucking time. For some reason, like, my life is connected to Greenville because of my jobs, driving jobs. Before the current one, I used to deliver parcels to Greenville, and before that, I used to take a man dying of cancer to Greenville, and from Greenville to a hospital in Cincinnati where he was getting his chemo. And of course, driving a man dying of cancer was made a bigger impression on me. Actually, he told me like some of the most depressing things I've ever heard. Well, one of them, when he was estranged from his father, and when his, you know, when he called his father to say that, you know, he has cancer, he called his dad, and his father was like, oh, let me finish, I'm cooking pasta right now, let me finish and I'll call you back. Our horrible, meaningless, fucking godless world. How could this happen? How could this fucking happen? It genuinely is fucked up. But one of the most meaningful trips to Greenville that I ever took was when I took a lady friend there who was visiting me from Seattle. And this lady friend was the love of my life. The love of my life so far. I'm no longer fixated. I no longer have a death wish hard-on for her. And by death wish, I mean for myself, not for her. That'd be a creepy thing to admit. Not even on my fucking channel would I admit to that. And And when she visited me from Seattle, for some reason I decided to take her to Greenville because I'm fucking insane. And I actually took her, and while we were there, we met that guy who was dying of cancer. And for some reason our relationship didn't work out. Yeah, I just like to ramble on about life, about love, as I am about to fucking crash here, because I fucking expected to go in a fucking straight line, and now I'm fucking have to make a turn in fucking 4 miles. My dudes, when I moved to Seattle, I posted an ad, created a profile on this piece of shit fucking website, OkCupid. You know, you like fill out a questionnaire. Who would you rather kill, a fucking gerbil or a hamster or a Puerto Rican? You know, and it's like if both of you chose the correct answer, which is obvious, then this is a match. And there are multiple questions like that, and then you see the match capacity, capability, and then you fucking, you know, write to a dame, you know. Well, in my case, everything gets a little bit meta. Everything is not as it appears. I have to be special. I have to be the fucking OkCupid edgelord. I have to be different from the rest, man. I have to be different from the rest. And so my whole profile was called The Pale Criminal, which if you've ever kind of dabbled in shit philosophy, it's actually a passage in Nietzsche. And the whole fucking passage was pasted into my profile, along with some other incoherent shit. And basically the Pale Criminal is a story of basically a passage in Nietzsche where he describes, I still fucking like the passage actually, you know, where he describes, whoops, there goes the popo. A passage in Nietzsche where he describes his kind of opposition to the death penalty. And he describes this kind of a pale criminal and who committed a crime, and he doesn't exactly know why he committed it. In a sense that the pale criminal was presented as a bowl of slithering snakes, I guess. Well, I'm just not sure about the word slithering, but you know, like sneaking around like a bowl of fucking snakes, you fucking moron. You know what I'm saying? And this represents the convoluted desires of man. How when we do an action, we're not exactly sure why we undertook it, because we ourselves we aren't a coherent whole. It's almost like a semi-Buddhist idea. So yeah, it kind of stuck with me at the time. And so I fucking naturally, I put it in my dating profile. And actually in this case, it worked, I guess because we were young and mentally ill. She did decide to send me a message. And ironically, you know, later on she said that her mother, who's a psychotherapist, has diagnosed her as having borderline personality disorder. And it was actually quite a fitting diagnosis. And if you think about that quote from Nietzsche, it kind of describes the, I guess, the dissociation and the different identities assumed by people with borderline personality disorder. I know borderline personality disorder might sound like bullshit, but I don't really give a shit if you consider it a disorder or not. It definitely is an aggregation of certain symptoms that many people experience. So that's it. Yeah, well, so fuck it. Now you know my opinion on borderline fucking personality disorder. At the time we met, dude, I had very limited encounters with the opposite sex. I was profoundly antisocial in college, and at the time we met, dude, I had very limited experiences with the opposite sex. I was really antisocial in college, and well, fuck it, dude. I had fucking limited experience at the time that we met when I moved to Seattle. And so when we met, like, she seemed kind of like immediately into me. And actually we went for a date, and then we went back to my place, and we're just, you know, I didn't know quite what to do. And then she's like, oh, I don't think I want to leave. And so then she just slept in a bed next to me, fully clothed, and I guess I could have made a move, but I didn't, because I'm a gentleman, and I respect consent, dude. That's the one thing I do. I respect consent. I respect consent. And then afterwards, she stayed for another day, and we did have an awkward sexual experience. Now, one thing is that, dude, I bought some condoms, and then when I tried to put them on, they didn't fit me, because I need a Magnum. Completely true, but irrelevant piece of information to the whole kind of narrative. But hey, hey. I'm such a moron, you know, look at my fucking large hands. Well, everything is proportional, ladies. That's the whole kind of gist of this video. You know, kind of bragging about the size of my penis while driving through rural Ohio. However, perhaps overwhelmed by the size of my penis, she swiftly kind of disappeared. Like, I expected to meet her again soon, and then she just vanished. Like, she wouldn't respond to my texts, whatever. And it was a very painful experience, because I'm very sensitive about rejection, much more so than the average person. I was really hurt, and I was hurt in a very emo way. It was an earthquake of fucking pain. Let me try to move this camera a little bit to see if we can get a little bit of the window. All right, do you like it better? Oh, Dad fucking always looks out for your fucking perspective. So yeah, it was very fucking emo. I was very fucking emo. Very kind of, you know, I was very sad. I was crushed inside. It was pathetic. I almost felt like crying. In fact, I felt like crying. I just didn't cry. How could she abandon me? How could she disappear from me? Is she just a ball of snakes with conflicting desires and perceptions? So anyway, like a couple of months later, like completely out of the blue, she messages me. And it was completely, like, I was over it. I was over our pseudo relationship. My heart closed. And now suddenly she poked it again. Suddenly, I have to fucking finish this thing before the fucking battery runs out. Suddenly, dude, she fucking poked it again. And she picked me up on her car, and we drove around Seattle. And then we went with her friend and to some sort of a fucking food court or some fucking Chinese fucking restaurant in a fucking mall. It was something like that, man. Something like that happened. And while her friend was away, she said, my boyfriend we don't connect that well. And he doesn't understand me. And then she showed me her wrist, and there were lines there. She was cutting herself. And these lines were very feminine in nature, man. They were like straight and very neat. She was half Asian. People who are half Asian, half white are sometimes referred to as the magic people, straddling two civilizations that white men want to have sex with most. But anyway, well, she was a magic person, and she showed me her magic marks, and they were very kind of neat. They were very feminine. Like, this is not the way. I actually did slash my wrists at one point in my teenage years, and I don't know if you can see it. No, probably fucking not. The scars are very light at this point. The scars are very light at this point. The scars are very light at this point. Don't want to make a cut. Don't want to make a cut. Don't know what I'm gonna say. Don't know what I'm gonna say. Well, yes, and this is when I really felt in love with her. It's like, it's not only the neat cuts were no longer just on her fucking wrist, they were now in my heart. And I loved her. I loved her because she suffered. And I fucking suffered. But she didn't want to suffer together. And so I fucking suffered to this day. And in all likelihood, I would suffer even more if we were together, because her ambiguity, I don't think that I was the man she wanted. So anyway, what transpired from then on is that we started to kind of exchange messages, and at this point I christened her with a cute nickname, Little Mew. And this had to do with the fact that she would text me the word meow, but one day she forgot the O, and so she became Little Mew in my book. And the other one was Little Paw, Tiny Paw, Little Mew Face, all this kind of shit. I really felt tender for her. I never obviously felt anything like that for anybody else. Otherwise, I wouldn't fucking be talking about it as I'm fucking driving to fucking Greenville. Oh shit. Well, I mean, the battery, strangely enough, isn't running out, so I've just been filming for 22 minutes. I guess I kind of misunderestimate how long it usually takes me to film shit. All right, my dudes. All right. So what happened there? So what happened with our relationship is that. So what happened with our relationship is that we were talking and very flirty, and she really had affection for me. And at that point, I started getting depressed. And so I, not necessarily about her or anything, but just in general. Fuck, don't want to edit this. And so what happened is that I sent her the first out of a series of fucking long fucking letters when where I said, hey, oh no, here's what happened. I remember now. I invited her to hang out, and we went to Ballard in Seattle. And at that point, I said that gave her kind of an ultimatum to either ditch the boyfriend and be with me, or our relationship is over. Now, I really overestimated my capacity to end this stupid relationship, this archetype of my insignificant existence. I really overestimated it. And, but she was really upset by it, and I think it affected her that first time, because she didn't even she's like, I want to be alone, and she didn't drive me home, which is fine. And so it just walked home, which was on top of this hill. You know, Seattle is very hilly. It's like San Francisco, even though I think a lot of people don't realize it, because that's not what they think about Seattle. Anyway, I at least the moron that I was when I moved there, I didn't fucking realize it. And so I'm just trudging off this hill, already kind of being depressed, and now just kind of fucking devastated by it. just kind of devastated by the whole thing. And as I got up the hill, like eventually I, just crumbled, and later on, I don't know, a day or whatever, I sent her a long fucking letter, kind of resending my rejection of her. But I think it kind of affected her negatively, and since then she's never been quite the same in terms of the pseudo affection. Actually, it was either that time or another time when, after receiving one of these kind of letters from me, like long fucking romantic letters, she actually said, this is gonna end in murder suicide. So who said women weren't funny? But anyway, ladies, if you are tempted to write me on Facebook, please know that she was just joking around. Why else would she continue talking, with me, if she really thought it was going to end in murder? So, but I never. Now I feel like compelled to actually clarify this. It was just a joke, all right? I never threatened her, nothing. I was just. There's just the intensity of my kind of desperate fucking emotions. She also called me Rask, R-A-S-K. A shortened version of Raskolnikov. So again, kind of tells you about the image I presented, the lonely, desperate, fucking starving student. I would fucking stab a grandmother, but I wouldn't stab her because I love her and I hate her, and well, anyway, so yeah, I know it's kind of the way it sounds is that she was stringing me along, and in many ways she was. And I'm not gonna kind of recount the whole thing, but but the thing about her is that she was not a normal person. Like, she did have psychological issues, and she did do drugs like meth. And therefore, I really don't judge her at all for it, because there was nothing manipulative about the way she behaved with me. It was just cold at times, or sort of, I don't know what the word is, but it wasn't calculating. It was just some loser for whom she had affection, and sometimes that affection got deeper, and sometimes it got more shallow. But that's basically what happened. But the interesting thing about this whole kind of relationship is that I experienced kind of, because she was so distant, I experienced like a purity of attachment toward a distant avatar. That is to say, she would appear and disappear, but my intensity only heightened. Like some sort of a cat playing with a string made out of its own guts and bleeding with its desire to connect with the world through this other mammal. Does that make sense, dude? Does that make sense? Well, that's what I felt for that girl, and I'm grateful for that experience. Like, one time, when our relationship once again improved, and she was about to visit me here in Cincinnati, and at one point she just ignored me for 2 weeks. Like, she disappeared, and I texted her this, and I wasn't sure because I was fucking looking forward to this. This was so important to me. She was my salvation girl. She was gonna solve all of my problems. And this is the kind of intensity that understandably alienated her. I don't think anybody does want to be a salvation girl. But the thing I want to say about this is that there's another undercurrent to this whole relationship that I will reveal later that has to do with me. I'll talk about it around the time I have 1,000 subscribers or something. that kind of added some intensity to the whole thing. Oh, maybe I was running a meth lab, you know, and she was a client. Well, who fucking knows? And at that point, like, when she replied after 2 weeks, I felt such a powerful rush of emotion, of like, it was an electric shock. It was like a borderline kind of mystical experience. Like, it just went into my bones. It was just a kind of a nervous joy that fucking went into the bones. And again, like, where, in what other context could you experience something like this? I don't know. So yeah, I'm kind of grateful to her for that. And she's just kind of, in many ways, she's just kind of goofy. Like, she's not. So the funny thing about when she visited me in Ohio, we like were driving around. We went to like a fucking distillery in Kentucky. We were just driving around, and the thing is, dude, we hardly ever fucking talked. That was the funny thing about her. Like, she just sat there and didn't want to say anything about her life. And yeah, you know, it's just that was that. We just drove around, and then she started fucking making origami. She started fucking doing origami in the car. I wish I had some left. I kept them for a while as mementos of pain, but then I threw them out. So yeah, this is the kind of a person she was. But you know, I mean, we did get drunk and make out, so a lot of mixed messages, and that's why the borderline kind of, you know, it's just these. This diagnosis really fits her. And it's like, you know, it's just these borderline eyes. Like, there is an intangible sense of femininity that not all women possess. Like, as a heterosexual, you're attracted to something hetero from you, and that doesn't mean just having a vagina, though this is nice. It always pays to have a vagina, you know. It's good to have a vagina, but there's also a kind of a rhythm, a kind of, I hate saying this word rhythm because it's so ubiquitous in my mind, but there's a melody, there is a rhythm, there is a sensibility that is inherently feminine, and it's hard to pinpoint exactly what it is, but it's just the way of speaking, the way of interacting that's the opposite of male. And she fucking had that shit in abundance. And she was kind of stereotypically mysterious, but in genuine ways. In genuine ways. Well, hometown heroes. What city am I fucking in? Well, this is this is what city is this? Fucking Manhattan? No. What fucking town am I in, motherfucker? Okay, historic downtown block party. But what fucking town is this? What is this historic town? Anyway, like, on the one hand, it seems like it would be kind of cool to live here, but it's just probably not stimulating to the spirit. But then again, I'm hardly fucking stimulated in Cincinnati, so at least the rent is cheaper here. Well, when I become a YouTube celebrity, I can just fucking rent a storefront here and you know, like, fucking sit there and stare like at these people like, oh, look, the Confederate flag. Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker. You have to show the one black person who lives here, if that. The one person who has a black grandma or something who lives here, you have to fucking remind them of their place, motherfucker. Whichever town it is, dude, I'm sure it didn't fight in the Civil War for the South. I'm pretty sure that it fucking didn't, man. Pretty sure. So anyway, so yeah, I mean, it really is. I wonder if that romantic sense in me has died. If that sort of, if that was, and not just because like she killed it or whatever, but because it's just like that vulnerability of spirit, dude. That vulnerability of heart cannot continue forever. I have grown like more cynical with age, and I don't know, man. I guess you know, like in The Big Lebowski, he treats objects like women. No, anyway, I don't treat women like objects, but I just, I'm not inspired to the same fucking passion. Though probably that kind of pathetic emo-ness still lives within me and will eventually fucking blow up like a volcano and completely prevent me from having a normal sex life. So yeah, dude, actually the windshield that you're looking through right now is, it's actually a killer. Fucking 2 motherfucking birds perished. 2 birds perished on this windshield. This is what you have, dude, when you have a larger car, my man. And birds die. It connects with the height of their flight, and if you drive for hours and hours like I do, I put fucking 67 fucking thousand miles on this vehicle last year. 67,000 miles. Statistic dictates that some feathered friends had to die, motherfucker. Motherfucking GMC Savannah, baby. V8 engine. Feel the fucking power of this fucking engine, dude. Feel the power! Well, anyway, actually there is not much power. This engine is mostly for hauling shit. It does make a satisfactory noise, but doesn't quite deliver. Doesn't quite deliver when it comes to speed. In fact, very often, man, I endanger myself when I need to make a turn, and I just forget how slowly how slowly this thing accelerates. I forget about it. I forget, and I endanger my life. I don't know if you enjoyed this video, but I sure as fucking did. It was very fun. It was very fun driving with my friends, with my fucking subscribers. Yeah, sit on my lap, son. Sit on my lap. Sit on my lap, daughter. Fucking daughter first, dude. Ah, yes, yes. We're reaching some sort of an apex here. Some sort of a climax. Something is gonna happen here, but nothing fucking ever does. But this is why I like driving, because it gives you a sense of motion. It is the only kind of, it's the only fucking thing in the world that consistently gives you a sense of fucking motion. Everything is stagnating. Everything, your body is slowing down. It's destroying itself. But not so much with driving. Not so much with driving. Alright. Well, you know, the speed here goes up to 100, but I always wanted to test it, and this would be the place to do it. But the problem is that fucking this stupid car is one of my few assets, and probably like seeing if it goes beyond the speedometer at 100 is might not be a good idea, since I did like throw in like around $3,000 in repairs on this bitch, and if it shuts down now, you know, as much as I love, it's when I become a Patreon boss when I do it. It's when I become a Patreon boss. When I become, I'm not really sure what you're seeing right now, because obviously it is, oh, fuck it. Oh, my friends, I need to fucking, this video's over, dude. What are you doing? oh, you know, maybe I should hit that guy and throw him into my cargo space and then make fucking Russian kielbasa out of him. Well, dude, you know, turn off this video. Nothing's gonna happen, man. It's so fucking over. I told you about my love affair. I told you about my one-sided pain. I bled for you like Jesus. I have stigmata on my fucking large fucking hands, completely proportional to my fucking penis. Where can I fucking turn around in this hick town? Where can I turn around? You're tired. You're tired of this rural American scenery, dude. Now, this is like literally a place where like 80 plus probably voted for Trump. Not that I'm even like bringing this up like I give a shit. It doesn't fucking matter who you voted for. What do I fucking give a... Well, motherfucker, all right. Okay. Shit, no, that's not quite enough space for me to turn around. Where do I fucking turn around, dude? Just tell me. Just tell me when you spot a place where I can turn around. I guess I should, I should have actually gone into that fucking farm. Anyway. Well, we see some signs of civilization here. I just want to turn around at one of these goat fucking farms. Dude, why can't I turn around one of these goat fucking farms? Okay, fucking shit. Nah, fuck. I just don't want to like back up and take forever, but I'm just being fucking lazy. I mean, people do kind of travel at high speeds here. Like these, oh, God. What is this shit? Give me a fucking farm road or fucking something. Like, for some reason I have some complex... Oh, shit. Now I fucking could have turned around in this place. Fuck me. Oh, what the fuck? What the fuck is this shit? It's like a little house here. Oh, fuck it. Driving around the tiny house, Oh, I see. This is like storage for boats and shit. Okay. All right, my friends. Well, now how much? Well, 42 minutes should be enough. Have been yapping. I've wasted way more gas than I wanted to, and it was an interesting experiment. You know, if it works out, it works out. I do want to like do more driving videos or like travel videos in the future, of which driving would be a component. But I've said enough. Oh, tell me about your pain in the comments section. Just don't expect me to reply. I just want you to stimulate the algorithm. Anyway, thank you for watching.